Hi beautiful beings of light, this is Yana and welcome to my YouTube channel in the month of July. Today is the 26th, that's the beginning of the new galactic year, yeah. And yesterday we had a day out of time actually, so for me it was time just to kind of reflect, go deep within. And yeah, I made some notes, guys. It was very interesting, you know, when you really detach from the external world, right? The withdrawal, that's one of those steps in yoga, pratyahara, all the senses, you just kind of, as you're inner directed, you connect to that inner Christ, your inner self. I actually saw myself almost like a floating above the matrix, above this whole society, the whole infrastructure, and how, you know, it's all being operated here, the economy or the bank industry, and you know, the food industry. I mean, all these industry, all these corporations, and how people live, right? That's like living in a box, cardboard box. I mean, the 3D, how it really takes energy from you, siphons energy from you. You're working hard, and then you're paying your bills, you know, it's spending all this money, and just like never ending cycle. So very important, just go into your heart, right, into that sacred chamber of your heart. You feel that divine spark, that inner Christ. There's an altar where you can go pray and meditate, and that's, you know, I really felt at peace that passes all understanding. And so that was very lovely to feel that, to see that, to experience that. I really felt that I am kind of in my own kind of bubble, not over fear-based consciousness, but just being protected by the divine, okay, being self-sustaining and inner directed with God's sovereign free boundaries. You know, it's very important for the mission, because we're dealing with all these extraterrestrial entities, those negative aliens, and this whole network of Satanism, Luciferianism, the black magic grid, okay? You know, the darkness, all this sorcery, and all this spell, and, right, we're transmuting all that. This whole astral plane needs to be renewed, and we had the reconstruction of the astral plane, again, newsletter from Lisa Renee, and we also have the liberation of the Draco system, and what is it, the Tuban system, the star constellations. So for us who are doing whether it's the grid work, or we're the Ascension guides, we're the column of light shining bright, we're the frequency holders, right? We do things multidimensionally. We feel all these things. We're sensitives. We're empaths, and you know, those also who are the divine architects, because we're designing everything anew from the scratch on this material plane. As like you see, we have this new Earth grid, right? What is it, the cosmic plasma light frequencies here, with the cosmic light codes, light language, guys. Everything is coming online because those cosmic portals open, right? We also have the Sirius portal open, and now we are in this period of the lion gates, okay? And so all this help is coming in, but for me, I am also doing all these corrections of that sacred symbology, sacred math, what is it, we are going back to universal laws, law of one, right? The universal crystal tree of life, guys. So I'm working, like I said, vibrationally with the sacred geometry, with the correct mathematics, right? The symmetry, all these correct proportions, 45-degree angle. And you know, those who were living off of us, right, the Dracos, the Alpha Draconis, I mean, this whole echelon, you have the Illuminati, the Cabal, but I said some of it is also my soul family. Some of those individuals end up there because of bribery and being blackmailed, okay? And also I've talked about my soul siblings, soul group, you know, in the military, then ended up in those cults, Skull and Bones, and also the military infiltrated by the Khazarian mafia, okay? So, and it's all hooked to that black magic grid, Okay, the Nephilim grid, running all these reversals, metatronic reversals, based on mathematics. Okay, those are not God codes. Those are codes of those black magicians. Okay, the Satanic Luciferians involved in pedophilia and pornography and child sex trafficking, human trafficking, money laundering, drug running, gun running, and so on. So we are correcting all these energies, right? In those, the astral plane, the high densities. We're dealing with the fallen angelics, the Anu Elohim, like I said, the negative faction of the Dracos and the reptilians, and the Anunnaki, right? And also the black dragons, the black dragon moth, and from the Wisa deck, because we were hooked to that phantom matrix. So now we are resurrecting the 15-dimensional universal time matrix. That's how it was designed originally from the solar rishis, right? So that's why today I'll go over the Cosmic Christos Dragon teachings, okay? And it's time for us to align ourselves with the law of one. I created the credo for the new earth jurisdiction, understanding the universal laws, natural laws, very important. We have the Galactic Codex, divine intervention, because those guys, the bad aliens, however you want to call it, their time is up. They need to align with the Galactic Codex. That's the systemized code of inner ethics. That's why we have to be ethical. We have to be moral, right? And that comes through connection to our heart, to our soul, to our oversoul, to which the monad, right? So you are the avatar self here. You are the master of your energies. You're the ascended master. Okay, the star seeds, the indigo warriors, the spiritual warriors, the rainbow warriors, the warriors of truth, of light, of divine justice. Okay, this is the work that we do, right? Especially the indigo races. Okay, and we talk about exopolitics, those native aliens, their agenda, and here I'm supplying you information about the ascension and what is happening, transpiring, okay, in those higher planes of existence. We're multidimensional beings of light divine, unity vow, right? 12D shielding, unity meditation, guys. That's part of the Ascension Guardian protocol, right? The Guardians. We're also being hosted by the Andromeda. That's a crystal star family. We also have a family in the inner earth. Okay, the Agartha, the Agarthians, the Telosians. And, there's more and more information is coming up even with the Admiral Byrd, right? He flew to Agartha, the inner earth in 1947. So there's so many documents now, and just so much is now transpiring because things are surfacing because of the plasma, the cosmic ray frequencies, okay? Extremely high frequencies and vibrations. We're being inundated by all that, and we're being restructured, resurrected, rejuvenated. We're different, okay? Everything is changing. Time to really move forward, and we're ascending, right? I mean, in those higher places we already ascended, and now see how we are doing it in this present moment. How did we come to this ascension? What we are creating, right? Very important, watching our thoughts, feelings, and emotions. That's how we are co-creating with the divine. Noble thoughts, noble feelings, noble emotions, even our deeds and actions. How we are contributing to this new earth society, right? This new earth jurisdiction, this new earth infrastructure, right? With the quantum financial system, with the free energy technology. So it's just very important now, being mindful, being responsible. Everything is accounted for. That's why those bad guys, right, with the Galactic Codex or through the Galactic Codex, right, it's all being brought to divine justice, cosmic trials, or galactic military tribunals, and it is what it is. You have to align yourself with that law of one. Whether on the human level, on the galactic level, interstellar level, and it's for everybody. It's for everybody. Okay? This is now mandatory for everybody, for us to ascend and live in peace, harmony, unity, Christos Sophia consciousness. So, Cosmic Christos Dragon teachings. Here we go. There are the esoteric mystery school teachings, and originally sourcing from the Emerald Founder records. So that's the Lyra, right? The star constellation Lyra, the creator of our civilization, human civilizations, with the royal houses, right? The Emerald Order, the Amethyst Order, the Golden Order. So, and it was designed by the solar Rishis, the cosmic solar dragons. And here it was manifested in the ancient Celtic church was carrying those teachings of the dragons, solar dragons. They are forefathers. They're the ancient builders. They are the Christos founder races. That's that they design the angelic divine luminous beings with 12 strands of DNA, with crystalline heart, with a plasma light body. And so now we are here in this kind of rehabilitation mode, right? The deprogramming, exiting the 3D matrix, extremely important. Transformation of the negative ego, and the rehabilitation of our DNA. I'm doing it for my soul group, my soul tribe, my soul siblings who end up in a military, extremely abused, violated, tortured. So the practice of the evolving self, right? We need to understand who we are, what is our mission, purpose, what's your purpose of life, what did you come here to accomplish, and what are your contributions to creating this new earth reality, and so on. So, and we're here on a Christos mission, right? And the directives here is to teach and guide humanity in alignment to the cosmic Christos dragon teachings. And in the ancient times, it was done through the Celtic church. And so, those individuals, they're full of radiance, they're radiating light. That's who they truly are. They reflected the highest qualities of human kindness, ethical conduct, refinement, and intelligent nobility. And that also led them to be referred to as the Aryans. The Aryans. You see, even that word was actually hijacked, because the word Aryan originally held the meaning of being a respected, compassionate teacher that leads by example, a self-actualized individual that presented as highly civilized, noble, and free, without reference to any ethnicity and caste. But as I said, see, even the word was hijacked and manipulated for the sinister purposes of promoting mind control ideologies used by the controllers. So the cosmic Christos dragon teachings were brought into this lower harmonic universe timelines by the 7-dimensional Hyperborean spiritual families. 7-dimension, guys, that's your oversoul. That's your monadic family, okay? That's the 7-dimension, 8-dimension, 9-dimension. And but unfortunately, there was the Luciferian rebellion, the Atlantean cataclysm, okay? And we're here to preserve the angelic human sacred teachings of the law of one. Law of one. Study the law of one, the law of Ra. You can also find it on the Creator for the New Earth jurisdiction. The law of one holds the information describing the genetic records of the 12 Essene tribes and gives details about humanity's true historical origins and biological ascension capabilities. Everything is written in your DNA, in your Akashic records. Resurrecting your DNA, right? Decalcifying the pineal gland, being on the sun, doing the inner work, transformational work, writing things down. That's how you get the downloads from your soul and from your oversoul, and you start feeling your multidimensionality, your true divine essence, who you truly are. Everything's been embedded in your DNA, in your 4 body systems. That's the spiritual, mental, emotional, the astral, that's the soul level, and physical. So that was here, the church held the embodiment of sacred hierogamic union to evolve into cosmic Christ. So that inner marriage, guys, marrying that inner Christ, right? Like even in the Bible, it was Jesus put a white robe on himself. So it means you marry your soul first before you go out there. You're on a mission, and that's also how you attract your soulmate, your twin flame, or your twin ray, when you unite and marry the inner gender principle. That's the law of gender throughout the creation, and bring the celestial music of Christos Sophia from the heavens into the earth realm. So all these, the Christos Sophia dragon teachings were taught by the Essene tribes, carrying the lineage of the original Celtic church onto powerful ley lines around the Mediterranean bases. The Christos mission teams chose this area for anchoring this frequency into the earth, which connected into several important stargates spanning southern Europe from Portugal, Spain, France, Italy, Greece, Turkey, Syria, Israel, North Africa, including the Canary Islands and Azores. Thus, all of these regions hold the energetic imprints and physical evidence of the migrating Celtic church tribes that were prevailing in those areas before they were targeted for massacre or driven out by the negative aliens, preferred genetic lineages that were modified and groomed to hunt down the Christos lines. See, they steal our technology, those negative ones, they steal our DNA, then they are modifying it, and then grooming it, right? They're creating the master raider races, even under the name Aryan races, and then they're massacring the Christos founder races, the Christos lineages. So this is unbelievable how they do it, and so that's why we have to be smart. That's why, for me, the knowledge is extremely important from Lisa Renee. Also remember, like the Azorites here, we're talking also about where they landed near the Irish Sea and North Sea, and it was the Scotland, right? The Scotland and Scotland and Norway. North Atlantic Sea located between Scotland and Norway. So so you have the authentic Celtic Essene groups from Hyperborea were the progenitors of the original Nazarene Christos teachings, preserving the knowledge of the original Diamond Sun Templar locations, male and female Christos Sophia lines, historical and angelic human genetic records for Earth while she was under dark siege. Thus, sadly, the ongoing covert genocidal agendas to eradicate these lineages that hold records of the Celtic Druid Grail bloodlines have a long history of repeated campaigns known as the Celtic Massacre and Druid Sacrifice. Many of these Celtic Druid Grail bloodlines identities were adepts of the Celtic Church that became pharaohs or kings in the ancient times of the Mediterranean and Middle East. As a result of their spiritual power coursing in their bloodlines, their family names, likeness, and legacies were stolen by the NA hybrids to be repurposed into imposters and cloned identities in order to obfuscate who was who and confuse the inhabitants through the accounts given in the historical written records. So the teachings included the Katara Tree of Life, spiritual initiation rites into higher frequency realities that ignited the biological ascension capabilities, guys. Cleansing, clearing, purification, your aura, your energy field, your chakras, your energy centers is extremely important, right? So that's how you can connect to the spiritual head of the Cosmic Christos Dragon teachings. You plug yourself into that universal awareness. And that's how you you are able then of a biological ascension. And so everything is in those teachings of the Mother Mary Sophia. She's the cosmic dragon. We also had, because of all this invasion, the Roman invasion of Gaul, the Cosmic Christos Dragon teachings were carried on underground through the secret sects of the Sisters of Avalon and the Benedict monks, who were masters of alchemy from their lifelong study of these teachings. These dedicated monks were responsible for choosing the building sites and drawing up the architectural blueprints, which included esoteric Cosmic Christos Dragon teaching ascension symbolism found throughout the ancient Gothic cathedrals in France and are consecrated to Mary. So the Zionists, right, or the proxy Israel, they come and they invert the entire structure. So that's, the symbology, then it was, their symbology is running the reversals. That's why you have to tune yourself to the heart and to your soul and see what is right, what is correct, and what is wrong. Purification of the mind is extremely important. So you distinguish, you differentiate. So the mother is actually a sovereign title and is esoterically known as the mother of dragons. Here we talk about esoterica. Please pay attention. This is not exoterica of those negative aliens. Okay? Here with their proliferation of Satanism, Luciferianism, pedophilia, pornography. Very important to differentiate that, distinguish that. And then, of course, again, there were this normal French invasion that happened. And, right, the version of the Mary Magdalene mystery knowledge from Gaul into Christian churches, they were built on top already existing dragon lines and power grids. And so Celtic-based knowledge of the sacred geometric principles that were held in divine architecture. And, you know, some of them is still preserved in the cultural language land. But unfortunately, because of all this invasion, right, those native ones, they desecrated, destroyed, and converted it into the Vatican approved narratives. Right, there was the Draconian invasion into Rome. From 2,000 years ago, gradually infiltrated the Greek knowledge and sacred texts in order to build the Church of Rome, which was used to hide and subvert the original Essene Christosophia dragon teachings and spread religious mind control and spiteful misogyny in its place. This began the NA installation of organized religions slanted in patriarchal domination that were used to distort the knowledge and remove the awareness of the existence of the inner Christ. Yoga, union with the divine. You have to feel the divine spark that is within you, that love, that light that comes from your heart. Remember, there is a brain structure that is more powerful than the brain in your head. And of course, you have to take care of your colons, right? So some cleansing, clearing, purification, drinking distilled water, coconut water during the summer so you can hydrate your cells. See how everything is connected. So the Vatican's mission, as guided by the negative aliens, was to obliterate and pervert these original Cosmic Christos teachings, being protected by the Essene lines, and then target those with the Sophianic knowledge for extermination. The controlling alien factions invented the violent narratives for worshipping a planetary crucified Christ in order to create mind-controlled slaves by installing rigid dogmatic beliefs. Over several generations, they were designed to spiritually disconnect human beings from each other and sever their inherited bioenergetical connection with the planetary intelligence. The name and signature of the Vatican is based upon the word Vaticanos, which actually means dragon, and is used in the spirit of mockery of the black suns to defile the mother of dragons. Unfortunately, you know, that's what they're doing. They have highly advanced technology, the black hole technology, guys. They're running reversals, base 10 mathematics, the artificial tree of life. So we have to bring everything right side up, correct all that through the transformational work, through healing ourselves, activating our DNA. That's why I have the Ascension Guardian Protocol. So the cosmic Christos solar dragons are eternal cosmic suns. They are the original architects of this Milky Way, Prothia, creation, in which the collective unified intelligences of the cosmic Christos consciousness body acts as the primary creative forces that comprise the ray systems. We talk about the 12 rays of creation, right? And we have the platinum ray, 12D shielding, that form into electromagnetism, instruction sets, and elemental substances. These consciousness units are the intelligences which form into creation codes and geometric expressions. There are the building blocks and raw materials which alchemically combine to generate the natural kingdom and animate its planetary life forms. Christos solar dragons are hierogamic in their gender principle. It means they're androgynous, which serves the function of polarity integration and harmonization of multidimensional energies in creation systems. They transfer their eternal life animating consciousness streams into many types of geometric expressions that are either male or female principles that make up the planetary grid network and matter kingdom. These cosmic sun creators are the eternal, sovereign, solar consciousness that choose to travel interdimensionally from within their transfiguring dragon god body, which can represent their race, system, and genetic lineages, in which all forms are sourcing from the organic creator consciousness of the cosmic God source domains. The solar Rishi dragons are the celestial form representatives of the cosmic Christos sons from the God worlds. When they enter the time matrix and become dimensionalized, meaning they take a more physicalized form to become embodied within that time and space. The solar dragon Christos races are the actual ancient Builder races and guardians of the creation of this matter realm. Thus, many are specifically intertwined within the planetary landscapes, as remnants of their dragon body parts can be found in many wondrous geographic features of majestic mountains, canyons, and seas. Okay, so not until recently we have the solar activations radically shifted the magnetic field, and the planetary eucharacteristic initiation began. You can Google all these words: Ascension glossary, eucharacteristic, right? We know we had now the supermagnetism, the Ascension portals, cosmic portals, everything open, right? All these the Galactic core corrected, the sound field corrected. So the solar dragon, the Rishis, especially the solar dragon mother, can enter this realm and helping us with ascension, with transition, with transformation, with healing of our heart, of our mind, of our soul, of our oversoul, of our body, and so we can embody the avatar self. So this is during the planetary ascension, the mother of dragons must take her place as the cosmic dragon overseer on the earth, so the dragon's many parts can finally be restored and reanimated by her life-giving presence and sacred Holy Spirit. So now we have the cosmic Holy Mother here online, because we were in the dark eon. We were in that kind of stasis with all these frequency fences for so long. So the dragon archetypes are typically presented in traditional stories and folklore as gatekeepers that are living in massive dark caves and guarding precious objects or rare treasures. But unfortunately, again, since the NA invasion, right, they distorted the esoteric meaning behind dragons. Again, esoterica, exoterica, very different. There's very different meaning. Pay attention to that. Okay, and here, the NA8, right? For them, the hero needs to slay the evil, fire-breathing dragon. Because those dragons, they are threatening and they're killing human beings. So again, they reversed everything. Because they are benevolent, ethical protectors of the world. The solar dragons. So as the earth is spiritually awakening, so are her original guardian dragon creators, calling for the return of the cosmic solar dragon family. The return of the Emerald Order as connected to the original cosmic Christos dragon founders is to ensure that all souls lost in the Phantom Matrix are eventually returned back to the God source. As a result, the long-term mission to restore spiritual freedom and ascension to the section of Earth, Tara, Gaia, right? Tara, fifth dimension, Gaia, seventh dimension. Now we're entering the new golden age in Aquarius, the Nova Gaia, right? That was also in the fallen matrix, also called Emerald Covenant. These Christos spiritual families are the organic dragon creators of our planetary consciousness and are actual and genuine aspects of the planetary grid network that comprise the multidimensional layers of the Albion light body that is undergoing a series of cosmic Christos dragon activations. Now, the dragon teachings included geodetic knowledge of the earth, which encompass awareness of ley lines, stargates, plasma domes, platonic solid math, and cymatic-based architectural principles that harness free energy from the natural creation systems, and had awareness of the star maps that make up the planetary grid network. Thus, the planetary Templar knowledge in the Emerald Founder records were also called the Dragon Teachings, as they specifically taught about the mysteries of the holographic matrix that created the universal tree of life, the study of the existence of the moving energy currents throughout the ley lines and exotonal lines of the planetary grid network, which further became known as the Dragon Lines. Who knew about that? Who had feeling for it? Nikola Tesla. He knew about the free energy running, the currents running through the Mother Earth, the electromagnetic field. Correct? That's why the Tesla towers. He light up the Chicago for free. Back then in 1894, he understood the lane lines. So this planet is filled with a plethora of beneficial archetypal expressions and sacred creational patterns at holy sites that were meant for humanity to explore on a joyous and adventurous path of ascension. That wonderment and discovery to expand consciousness through communicating with the earth intelligences in order to know of our beautiful planet's holographic geography was stolen from us through frequency fences and mind control. We need to deprogram ourselves, right? Rewire the subconscious mind, very important. So this same Templar Dragon knowledge was applied in the design of many examples of ancient architecture and in the building of stunning structures such as many Gothic cathedrals. Where I come from, the capital of Czech Republic is called City of Thousand Towers. There are so many Gothic cathedrals and churches. It's magnificent, but unfortunately, again, those negative ones were running the dark grid through all that, right? But still, the beauty is still preserved. So through freeing ourselves from that dark grid, the black magic grid, connecting to that new earth grid, right? We can resurrect all these energies and dispel all the darkness. This is the work that I do. Shadow worker, right? Working with the goddess Kalai. So those actually cathedrals, they were designed as a sacred spiritual sites for dragon mystery schools and as healing temples purposely built upon powerful planetary grid lines that converge into energetic nodes and portal systems. Many of these ancient Gothic cathedrals are undergoing specific attunements to the ongoing planetary grid solar activations to ignite the dragon lines, the dragon nose, the dragon wings, the dragon domes, and even dragon eggs. So these are the organic energy components of the holographic geography of the planetary body that is awakening now, which comprise the frequency currents running within multidimensional energy systems, forming the light language patterns into geometric electromagnetic designs. So the planetary grid is a living ancient mapping system of multiple energy spectrums of consciousness filled with intelligent geometric patterns of universal creation code. This is how cosmic Christ consciousness and the mind streams of God communicate with human beings on the planet. These patterns form into holograms which are being realigned and reconnected with their correct astrological star maps and the alchemical laws existing within those constellation patterns and their corresponding ley lines that run those particle frequencies into the earth grid. Dragons and their assorted parts can be considered the primary method of how the cosmic crystal suns that are from the Emerald Order founding races are able to send their eternal solar plasma frequency currents into the creation and directly interact with the planetary body and all of us. Angelic humans are the energy nodes of the planetary body, and when we awaken, right, time to awaken, wake up, we can communicate with planetary, galactic, universal levels of the cosmic crystals consciousness that are found inside of us and within many planetary grid features. That's why we have vortexes, we have portals, right? Like really very powerful one in Sedona, Arizona, Mount Shasta, California, and others. Uluru, Australia, there's New Zealand, there is in Tibet, right? Tibet, Nepal, in India. So many cosmic citizens also referred to as the cosmic Christ utilize a sovereign God body which takes dragon forms as the organic spirals of dragon time travel God technology. As the Gothic allows unlimited transmigration ability. Transmigrate, here you have it here. The same Templar knowledge existed all over the world in the ancient human culture and extends into many of the most ancient sacred Buddhist and Hindu temple sites. Such examples can still be seen in the remaining spectacular artifacts and yantras found at the Ajanta and Ellora caves in Maharashtra. It is not an accident Maharashtra is one of the most industrious areas of India. Major cities and financial centers have been purposely set up near powerful dragon lines and yantra geometric grids for the purpose of harvesting their powerful energies for the elite, as well as for obfuscating their natural spiritual benefits from public knowledge. The ancient Templars and builders set up spectacular divine architecture and geometric designs of yantras within this local grid network to flow dragon energy into the temples, underground caves, and tunnels. This is how we connect through the entire universe, cosmos, through those grid, very powerful grid, the dragon lines that are now being re-energized, reactivated, rejuvenated through activating our DNA, guys. So this is the work that we do as a multidimensional beings who are of that cosmic Christos, right? We are on that Christos mission here with the liberation, expansion of our consciousness, guys. This is how we operate, and this is what we do. That's why I teach what I teach and how I teach it. Because, you know, there's this direct, those powerful links for communicating directly with the God above. And so you don't have to ask somebody. There's like nobody, some kind of middleman, or you have to go to church. The church is within you. The inner Christ is within you. You don't have to go anywhere. All the answers to your questions are within you. Okay, and so we have to embody those higher qualities of truth and liberation. It's running now through our blood, through our plasma, through our DNA. So those are the spiritual design buildings, guys, on these dragon nodes. Supernatural transformation happening here when you're on those grids, those energy lines. It amplifies the intelligence of the entire cosmos. We are the microcosm of the macrocosm, right? The energy flow, very important. The 0 point energy that pours into the ley lines. And so all these buildings designed for maximizing spiritual connection, recognizing there are principles to purify our instrument, for playing the resonating tones of the energy harmonics, which form into musical bridge. That's why we meditate. That's why we do what we do. Japa mantra meditation. Right? Bija mantras. Coloring mandalas. Working with that sacred geometry of that correct math. Of that proper symmetry. So the importance, right, is very important. The spiritual practices, meditation, singing sacred hymns and mantras. Especially at certain times, locations, during cosmological alignments to build the harmonic musical bridge to God. Guess what the Satanists, Luciferians do? They also know those kind of teachings, but they perverted and reversed everything. That's why we have to be strong in our core, in our heart, and doing our work, right? The spiritual work. We're the warriors of peace, of light. We're the soldiers of peace. We have to keep going, doing the work here. So these ley lines, right, of building the critical to maintain the powerful grid network connections with the celestial intelligence streams. So doing the inner work to align matter manifestations and the future goals of the local community with the divine order of the natural laws. All thoughts, words, and actions associated with those desired future events for their community were defined with the sacred healing temples that were built for these group spiritual practices. To achieve energetic flow of abundance. It's time for abundance. Connection to the natural kingdom, connection to the celestial kingdom, right? That comprises of stars and constellations, guys. Here, your light, your technology, God technology, etheric technology, all radiating rainbow light aura. That's how we transform, transmute all this shadow, the pain body, the drama, the trauma. So, time to thrive, right? Being in balance, energetic balance, and multiply the energetic abundance via the Christic aura, the sacred marriage union of your light body that comes from within with the heavenly realm. We have to take care of our mother, cosmic mother. You know, she's of the Emerald Order, the Aqua Emerald transmission. They are coming online. She's the divine giver of life. And because this earth is a replica of the planetary hologram, and we are created in God's image. We're one angelic human species made by our cosmic mother and father to be the guardians of the earth's surface and to awaken our inner Christ in order to protect the sacred places of this planet and each other. This includes the extensive circuitry of the Emerald Crystal Heart Network that functions as a supreme high-speed internet and intergalactic highway that connects with the cosmic God intelligence. So through the individual spiritual labor of purification, directed for the divine purpose of achieving inner and outer sacred marriage and hierogamic union, the multidimensional spiritual body is transformed through the opening of the Emerald Crystal Heart to link up directly to the Cosmic Emerald Crystal Heart Network. Once the individual's crystal heart twinning is spiritually flowering from the inner alchemy occurring from the solar symbiosis of the liquid solar plasma of the Sophianic layers anchoring throughout the material form, the Diamond Heart Network opens into all 45-degree angles to exchange communication directly with the Cosmic Christos consciousness. I know, guys, this is very complex, but just letting you know, because this is how I teach, this is my material, trying to digest it for you. All the noise that actually is because people leave their car and their motor is running because I guess they don't want to sweat. What do you do? So we had the pearl activation back in, was it in April, I think, or March, April? That was the anointment of our pituitary and pineal glands, okay? That was the solarization process of the human light body, getting out of that lunar forces into solar light, the transfiguration of lunar to solar, made in the robe of glory. So we have to we're dismantling the anti-hierogamic alien machinery that was perverting, inverting, and cloning the sacred image of our Holy Mother, Holy Father, right? The energy signature, the Holy Spirit, for assorted satanic agendas. It was the alien generating Dark Mother or Dark Madonna. You have to read the energies, the energetics. So we are resurrecting the energies of the Gothic cathedrals, right? And we're here on the path of Mary Magdalene, Sophia, and her lineage. So these mystery schools dedicated to the study of the Cosmic Crystal Soul, the Dragon teachings of the Planetary Templar, protected for millennium by the Celtic Church. So remember the ancient Essene Celtic Church sacred text. We're all resurrecting all that in ourselves. We are resurrecting our ancient history, ancient knowledge. Everything is now coming to the surface for us just to really feel our true divine nature and our true origin. Not like we're from caves, like we're some kind of coming from monkeys and from some cave, learning how to do a fire, to set this is all nonsense. Okay, we have cosmic galactic history here. That's where we come from. Okay, we're the ETs. We're resurrecting our DNA. And so we're going through the plasma activation, guys. Okay, the Sirius Star Gateway, right? Opening, that was the correction of the 6D indigo waves. And here it looks like we're making it to that 13th dimension, the 13th solar dragon king, Christ Michael here, true, authentic, benevolent, holy father. And even, the architecture, the Lincoln Cathedral, he has Aquarian dragon that is awakening as a guardian protector of those who embody the natural laws to defend freedom through the solar rod and kingship arcs. Well, you just have to know the universal laws, the law of one. And so you can bring the freedom here online. Here we go. We have the Magna Carta and constitutional documents that establish the principle that everyone is subjected to the law of one, even the king, and it guarantees the divine rights of all individuals. Lincoln is the only place in the world where you can find original copies of both the 1215 Magna Carta and the 1217 Charter of the Forest. The two charters are owned by Lincoln Cathedral. Now let's talk about those crystal star seeds. Abraham Lincoln, right? He continued to work for the freedom of humanity on the Ascension timeline by co-creating with the same law of structure in the American Constitution by authoring the Emancipation Proclamation. Following Tsar Alexander II Edict of Emancipation of Russian serfs to restore liberty and abolish serfdom, in December 1863, Lincoln issued his Proclamation of Amnesty and Reconstruction. Key provisions required that the states accept the Emancipation Proclamation and thus the freedom of their slaves, and accept the Confiscation Acts as well as the act banning of slavery in United States territory. Tsar Alexander the Liberator and President Lincoln, the soft-spoken freedom fighter, shared a similar fate, as both were assassinated by the cabal bankers who opposed giving these freedoms to the common people or peasants. Since then, if their bloodlines rose into power, they were hunted down and targeted for genocide as the spiteful retaliation of their original goals, which set out to liberate their nation's people. One such example of what became of Lincoln's bloodline is looking back at the traumatic events in the Kennedy family history known as the Kennedy Curse. Another example is Tsar Alexander's bloodline resulted in the brutal execution of Tsar Nicholas and his family by Marxist-trained Bolshevik soldiers. This gives us the clue that Russia's true hidden heritage and America's true heritage are deeply intertwined. Freedom was proclaimed in their original law of structure that is being guided by divine laws as liberators. Thus, the current events on the world stage are important to revealing the Ascension timeline in order to reject slavery and tyranny and ensure global human freedom for the future. So this action is now being completed under the God's natural laws on earth, as represented in the return of the kingship arcs, which are proclamations of the Holy Father, stating that his laws are the governing power in this domain and that his principle is an absolute truth for all human beings. This set into motion new events in the planetary field in which specific ruling families in the power elite that were acting as kings, presidents, monarchs, that had agreements made to ensure political unions in satanic embodiments are being seen very clearly in their actions of global SRA, satanic ritual abuse. These power elite groups believed they were supremely protected by their hierarchies of lunar demons and negative alien forces, as their proclaimed God is satanic or Luciferian. As their satanic architecture of human slavery falls, it reveals more details of how they accomplish their deeds and maintain their power bases in politics via practicing Satanism, killing of the liberators, and organizing human trafficking to the off-worlders. So now, so the guardians of those higher places, they are pretty much now extracting, injecting all these clone identities, all these imposters, they need to go, that they were inserted into the Tsar and presidential bloodlines, right? It was all dark manipulation, and it was done by the dark cabal backed up by the negative aliens. So, and they're in those higher places, position echelons, not only on the material physical plane but also the spiritual plane, the spiritual and the astral. This is what we're dealing with. That's and so we have to really now master ourselves, so self-mastery in the spirit of patience, perseverance, and endurance to serve the divine will of God. So again, newsletter from Lisa Renee. I apologize for all this noise, but it is what it is. I just kind of wanted to give you this information. For me, it's very important. I've been reading it many times. This is newsletter from actually, is it April 2022? So it's been there for quite some time, and I'm constantly going back to these Cosmic Christos teachings and you know, the reconstructor, right, of the architecture in the astral plane. And we have the new grid, guys, very important. Well, for me, I'm just kind of letting you know how, you know, I'm connecting to this new earth grid and all this meditation and cleansing, clearing, purification, invoking of the violet flame. The invocation of the violet flame is extremely important, connecting to that inner Christ, right? What else? Like, there was the PTSD time to heal, knowing, understanding the universal laws, the law of one. Okay, and also those are on that scientific kind of nature of the scientific, right? There is this quantum manifestation from Marina Jacobi. She channels information from ETs, from hybrids, right? Her material is harmonic reactor and nanotechnology. She's got all kinds of predictions. So you know, I'm just tying all that together. It's just very important to, you know as many information as possible, but not only knowing, but embodying those energies. It means we have to practice, right? We have to walk in those energies of love and faith and trust and grace and gratitude. There's the 5D protocol, right? Those are people from Telos helping us with ascension, with liberation as well. So guys, I hope this video was helpful for you, and have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.